Alright, today we're going to be installing the ZZP big brake kit. Comes on the L&F cars, factory, like the 2010 Cobalt SS. I want to make a note right from the beginning. Comes with all the hardware you need, but I want to let you know if you have an LSJ car, there's specifically a pack of spacers, quantity 2, that are just for the LSJ cars. Also, they have a pack of spacers that's only for cars that had an L&F, because I guess the bolt holes are different. So if you have an LSJ car like me, just discard the L&F spacers. Funny story behind it, you can ask Ryan from ZZP all about it if he's got some time and wants to tell you sometime. But to save you confusion, get rid of those. You only use one spacer behind the hub, plus the factory one. So what you'll do is go ahead and put this on there. Put this on like so. And then you're going to want to put your wheel bearing on. Put a couple threads in by hand. Step down a little bit. A little awkward trying to do it so you can see the video. Breaker bar. Nice and tight. Now the wheel bearing does have to come out for this, because without that spacer, the rotor will not be centered inside the caliper. And I'll show you what I'm talking about once we get to that step. Also, we got a lot of work going on right now, so it's not particularly necessary to take everything off like I have it now, just the brakes and the wheel bearing. Of course, makes it a lot easier to work around stuff when you don't have the axle in the way. Okay. Check the top one again just to make sure. Okay. Good deal. Now, get the rotor. The rotors, it does matter which side goes on which. So you can go ahead and put that there. And, if you want, you can put a lug to try and hold it on there. But the rotors are labeled front passenger side, front driver side. The reason it matters is because the orientation of the holes and the grooves. So I'll leave it like that. Try to turn this so you can see. Probably should use washers in between here. reason I'm putting these washers because the lug's not really holding it flat against the hub, and the reason is because I put extended length studs on here. I have another video to show you how to take those in and out with these. The reason I'm putting those on there is because I'm running some Enkis, some SS05s with a 40mm offset, and although it says they'll fit on a Cobalt SS, I'm on a Saturn Ion Redline, and even though this brake kit should be the same, for some reason it isn't. So I got to run extended length studs with a 7mm spacer. It'll leave almost 1/10 of an inch clearance between the caliper and wheel. Anyway, next up is taking your brake caliper. They normally come black, okay, with some white lettering. I took some Eastwood red caliper paint, and I just kind of refinished the whole thing, and I got some nice Brembo stickers I'm going to put on there and clear over. So next things next is you use the supplied new bolts for mounting the caliper, and they just go, let's see, turn this enough. Get that on there without looking behind the spindle. The other bolt on there, couple threads, and it's a 16mm socket. Bolts for the wheel hub are 15. Okay. And as you can see, that's in place. And then you should get the stainless steel brake lines that come with it. I can show you later when I put those on. But as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. See, the space between the caliper and the rotor should be the same on each side, which is the reason they give you that spacer to put behind the wheel bearing. Is your caliper mounting point is fixed, okay? This cannot move. So in order to bring this out, you have to use that spacer so that the pads are equidistant on each side. You don't have one side rubbing or anything. So yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of it, except changing out the brake lines and putting the pads in. I'll go ahead and I'll add more video later on to show you how exactly to do that. It's pretty easy though. But yeah, this will look really nice once it's done.